All right, welcome everybody to RWB Racing Super Formula Series. I'm here with my host Vasco Francisco. How are you, sir?
Hey Chris, how's it going, everybody? Glad to be here and welcome back from vacation, my friend.
Yes. You know what? It sure felt less like a vacation and more like I wish I was back here racing and doing live streams.
Well, luckily you're back, so let's get on with the racing, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at our driver points before the race. So currently, after the last race, RWB Crimson remains at the top from Team Williams with 184 points, followed by yourself with 158 points. Turbo remains in third with Night Kid and Presidio Dog on Team Alpha following up in fourth and fifth. So J Rod, with that spectacular race he had, that last race, moved up 3 points, three positions
Three
from that
positions,
win that he
yep.
had. Sorry,
Yeah,
what's
that
that?
was an impressive that was an impressive victory. I mean, I heard that he got a brand new tune and he was just feeling really good on that wet track. And let's see if that momentum. Remember that came off two wins a win at Interlagos and a second place, I believe, at Red Bull Ring. Just to remind the viewers. So he's on fire right now. So let's see how he does this race.
Yeah, let's see if he can carry that momentum. Well, speaking of some of the teams, let's take a look at some of the team points. So your team, BWT, with Joey Canoli, are riding up in first place,
Not
leading
by much.
leading Alfa Romeo. That's my team with Night Kid, with 2 points behind before the race begins. Williams is moving up quick though. They are sitting in third place. We got Red Bull and AlphaTauri, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari in order through the eight positions. So it's anyone's race up at the top. I mean, there's very little points separating the top three teams, and a good showing from Red Bull could move them up into the rankings, into the top three. You know, if they finish well together. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of our drivers, let's go ahead and run down the starting grid, shall we? So, on row one, yourself with a blistering qualifying time, 53.729. That was fast. Right behind you, it only just under like half a second, not even half a second. It was like a tenth of a second. Is Night Kid from Alfa Romeo in P2. In row two, we've got Black Widow with her right up front. That was a great qualifying for her, getting right up there in the front row. So we'll see how that goes for her. She's also
Right.
in the 54 second range. I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say between the first, between the first and third or second or third at the moment, there's less than half a second,
Yeah,
only about four tenths. So it's very close.
indeed, absolutely. And then the Crimson there in P4. On row three, we've got Joey Canoli and Jack from Red Bull and BWT. Uh, Next up, we've got Kituation and J Rod on row four together in P7 and 8. Still,
And I
all of
just
these
want to,
drivers are in the
yeah, yeah.
54-second range.
Right, and between Kituation and J Rod is only 1,000th of a second between
Yep.
splitting their times. And if you look at the first time, Francisco on the 53.7, up all the way to J Rod at 54.4, that is less than a second still
Yep.
between first and seventh. So this is interesting.
Yeah, first and eighth. Well, it gets even better. So in row five, 54.8 is the slowest one there with Venom, and that's only a second off. And it's
Yeah,
just
just shy of a second.
yeah, and you know when people think about how close the racing can possibly be in some cars. Oh yeah, do one Mississippi, and that's the difference between a car going around the track. I mean, that's how close
Right.
this is. So anyway, on row five, we got Super Mex, one of our wild card drivers, and and Venom in Mercedes. And in the last row is Trology and Agorski from Mercedes and McLaren. We have four drivers missing out, myself included, in this race. And one of them, we're gonna miss him, Ian. He's off to college. So at some point we will have a new replacement driver on Team McLaren. But until then, it's just going to be these 12 drivers duking it out on the track. So it's gonna be a great race. I'm excited to see how it's all going to go down. So, uh, you got anything you want to say before we start this sucker up?
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't even know what to talk about amongst how tight that qualifying is, so I can only imagine this race.
Yeah, this race is going to be awesome. So first, for some reason, I'm having a technical challenge here. Hang on one second, folks, while I sort this out. Uh, it's not showing everything I want to see. Or it's showing too much stuff. Okay, there we go. Phew! All right, I don't know what was going on there, but I seem to have lost my video for the race. So stand by here for 1 second. There we go. Just had to get the cars on the track. They were all sitting in the pits waiting for me. Anyway, all right. Are you ready, my friend? Cause I'm ready.
Oh, I was born ready.
All right. Well, then let's
Ready
wait
to
for the
race.
lights. All right. So, you want to call it off?
Yeah, Francisco gets a pretty good lead right now. He's moving off to the racing line. He got completely clear, so he's going to straight up. Black Widow is right in behind Night Kid, holding a line. Oh, gets a little, just barely any contact, truthfully. That was just a change in lines. And we got Crimson in fourth place, Jack fifth. Oh, it looked like Black Widow touches that inside wall, drops a couple positions. Now Joey's ready to pounce onto Black Widow. And up front, Crimson goes off track, and now he's getting swallowed by Black Widow and by Joey Cannoli. Speaking of
Jack
which,
sneaks in there too. Look at that.
yeah, beautiful. The Jack is actually in the blue Red Bull car, and J Rod 2 positions back behind Crimson in the Red Bull. So this is a really tight racing. This first lap was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a lot of changes in the one lap. Well, I'm watching Joey Cannoli right here. He's got Crimson all over him. Crimson's making a move. It looks like he might try to go inside, and he does, and he takes the spot. Oh, Joey pounds the wall. So does that was J-Rod that hit the wall too, it looked like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, just a little bit of damage. And now there's a little bit of contact here and there. Looks like we lost
Situation. Joey all in a circle.
Oh, and Joey. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's go here to Trology now and watch him as he attacks Zagorski here into the chicane, or not the chicane, sorry, into the double left-hander here. And then up ahead, if you go to 8th place and we go to off board from third person, we can see this line of cars. Everybody trying to fight to hold on to the slipstream. And we're going to go over the line for the second time now. And this is a fast corner into turn 1. You almost no braking whatsoever.
Oh, J-Rod! Oh, that was close. Is that Supermex up in front of him? I think it is. Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah. It's Supermex up in front and Crimson just ahead of him. And now it looks like Crimson has Venom right in front of him. And Crimson not close enough for a move at the moment for 5th place. But he's going to line him up, hopefully for Crimson's sake. He gets into the slipstream and can make a move across the line. Let's watch this battle.
But he's definitely in the slipstream. Ooh, as Venom taps the wall, which will slow him up enough, I bet Crimson can catch up to him. He stays in that slipstream. Oh, overtake activated. Oh, here he comes.
Yep. And let's see if he's going to go around the outside or if he's going to dive underneath. It looks like he's planning to go around the outside. Goes for, yeah, he's just patient. this section here, this turn 2, turn 3, and then turn 4, it's really hard. It's basically just a one-line race.
Yeah,
and a
there's
lot
no
of people
passing
making
there.
mistakes. As we've seen Joey touching the grass and spin around earlier, this is probably another hot spot for overtaking, right into the tight hairpin. And then this corner here, you just slot in right behind, and you kind of try to line yourself up for this last corner just before the straight.
Yep.
Looks like we got Supermex in 8th place behind J-Rod at the moment. He looks like he's close enough for a move into turn 1. Let's see what happens here.
Let me get on board here with
Supermex.
Supermex here. Here he goes. Oh, nope, he slows up.
Lifted. Okay, so he thought twice about it and decided, you know what, this isn't the lap I want to stick my nose in and try to make a move. Meanwhile, at the front here in 3rd place, Black Widow is now getting really close to Black Widow, has the overtake or a boost. Overtake. I don't know what to call it nowadays anyway. But she's just hot on the overtake. It's lap 5. She's already used about 3/4 of her overtake. The overtake goes by quickly on a track like this because you're usually in high gear while using the overtake, and it just drains it. So we'll see what she does later on in the race. But she's doing really great in 3rd place at the moment. She was blistering during qualifying, and now look at that: 54.6, 54.9, 54.2, just constantly in the 54s. She's showing
she did qualify 3rd, so she knows the track. Now it's just how is she going to handle the traffic when she's there.
So my point was more to say that she put in a fast lap, but it wasn't just a fast lap. She actually has a fast pace.
Yep. Ooh.
Almost getting by Night Kid.
Now I'm on Night Kid's car looking back, and just he's got nothing but black and green in his mirrors everywhere. This should be where she can catch up to him. Okay, she's on her overtake again. This is the move.
Here it comes.
There's
and now let's go to Black Widow and look backwards.
Oh, that bump is rough.
Oh, it is. It throws a lot of people off, but that was a great, clean move. It looked easy, but really, it was only easy because she did all the hard part on the lap prior, which was, oh no.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. That's okay. She's going to have to do it again. She shows that she can, so we'll watch a little bit later. Let's go here to 7th place, Crimson. He's right behind Supermex at the moment. So it looks like Supermex might have made a move on J-Rod, or J-Rod might have gone off track because he's at the moment J-Rod is 2.5 seconds away from Supermex. So something happened there. Unfortunately, we don't have replay, so we can't watch that. By the way, Supermex, Crimson, and J-Rod, all 3 of them are on the soft tires at the moment, as well as Joey. So this is an interesting battle right here. They're probably going to be all on a similar pit strategy. No, I lied. Crimson started on mediums. He is now on the soft tires.
He pit?
He pit already. He has done his 5 laps mandatory of mediums. We kind of missed them all because 5 laps is too quick. In hindsight, this race should have been 15 laps on a set of tires, but I guess we didn't really think that went through.
We'll take it through next time.
Right, exactly. We're trying every year or every season. The SF League is evolving. So now we took down notes, people. We've seen what works, what doesn't work, and we'll be changing this stuff. Let's go here to 11th place. Trology in 11th at the moment. He's just behind Igorski. Remember, Kitsuation is in 12th place. He had a massive mistake into turn 2, I believe, or turn 3 earlier in the race. So now Trology is now after Igorski. Looks like he's just outside of the slipstream, so he's not going to catch that one. Let's go up here to Joey, who's running by himself at the moment. Let's just go off board and watch a cinematic if we can. As Joey comes right through here. Joey during practice, he was extremely quick. A lot of people saw Joey and I'm not talking anything bad here, but Joey had pace definitely for the podium. So unfortunately, that spin that he suffered on lap 2 or 3 really hampered him. Let's see if he can do anything about that. But it's just unfortunate because he could have been up there with the top 5 easily.
Yep. You know, I forgot to mention something at the beginning of the broadcast. You all got to see a new video we debuted for RWB, and I forgot to mention the company that put it together for us. That company was Rocket Media. He's an acquaintance of one of our drivers, and he worked with us to get some video footage together and put a little something together for our intros. So thanks to Rocket Media for that. So I wanted to make sure we didn't forget to do that.
He's also the one who's kind of got the fresh new look for RWB streams, I believe. Is that true, or am I mistaken?
Nope, that was a different person.
Oh, it was a different person. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, so Joey Canoli looks like he's just kind of out there turning his laps. Let's see, we got some pits happening.
Jack and Venom, I was just going to say that. Jack and Venom go into the pits, and Crimson takes up 4th place. Now, remember, Crimson is already done with his medium, so he's on his softs now, and he's now starting to push. He's trying to go after Black Widow, who is not too far away from Night Kid. So at the front of the grid, Francisco is 6 seconds ahead of Night Kid. Night Kid is 4 seconds ahead of Black Widow. Black Widow 3.5 seconds ahead of Crimson. So Crimson's starting to catch, and ever so slightly he's getting closer and closer. Venom in 5th place after that pit. He was on the softs, went up to the super softs. Jack was on the super softs and went down to the mediums. So let's see how that happens. He's less than a second behind Venom, so maybe we should check that out. With J-Rod right behind Jack. So the two Red Bull cars are here about to put pressure on.
Oh, what a picture perfect. I got the picture perfect camera angle with both the Red Bull cars in it. That was pretty great. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to keep track of the pit strategies of all these cars because they're in and out of these pits so fast.
So quickly. Yeah.
Oh, J-Rod makes the move.
Oh, but he took it a little too it was a little too tight of a corner, and he had to scrub up more speed than he did. Unfortunately, he's going to have to try and set that up again later. Obviously, he didn't want to push his teammate off track, so he probably was a little slow on scrubbing off that speed.
Yeah.
But because of that, now Supermex is getting nice and close. There's just battle. There's just battles everywhere. If you look at the mini map, folks, those distances, yeah, sure, there's big gaps, but this is a 53-second track. All these gaps are about a second, 2 seconds each, and 2 seconds. We all noticed during practice that everybody was so close that if you wanted to try and push to gain a half or a tenth of a second, you might get that tenth of a second. But if you didn't and you made a mistake, you were losing 9 seconds.
Yeah.
9 seconds is essentially 3 positions that you would lose. That's how fast everybody is driving at the moment.
Well, looking up here at P1, yourself just setting some pretty great lap times. A lot of 54s, up in the 55s now as those soft tires start to show signs of wear. What's the gap between you and Night Kid? It looks to be about...
It's 7 seconds in climbing. 7 seconds in climbing, yeah. It was 6 seconds last time I mentioned. Now it's at 7.1.
All right, let's take a look here at Night
Crimson
Kid.
Is right. Yeah, Crimson's right behind Night Kid.
Yeah, now Night Kid is got a lapped car in front of him to deal with here shortly. That looks like a Gorski, and he makes quick work of that and gets around him. Crimson is closing that gap though, and
yeah,
he's past Black Widow.
Right. Crimson, a couple seconds ago, this is what I mean. A couple seconds ago, he was 3/10 just before the cameras went on to him, and from Night Kid, and then he dropped back. He dropped back so quickly that now Black Widow is on him. So that's, Black Widow is actually, if you notice her tire wear, is those super softs, they don't last that long. I mean,
Oh, those are really bad.
yeah, 12, 13 laps is pretty much the limit. Otherwise, turn one, you start to scrub like that.
Yep.
But nonetheless, with all that tire wear, she's still putting in 55s and 56s, which is not, I mean, that's pretty quick. I know a lot of guys were doing 56s all practice until I made a couple suggestions on their, lap traffic kind of go. Yeah, so a lot of people were using a lot of downforce in the rear, and I suggested them to get rid of all the downforce in the rear, and right away they gained 1.5 seconds just on that change alone.
Oh yeah.
So this is a very sensitive to aerodynamics.
Now look at this, Francisco in the pits and coming out. Let's see, did he switch tires? Yep, onto the mediums.
Switch the mediums.
Not a full tank of fuel, but
just enough for a stint.
Yep. And Black Widow. Oh, go ahead.
Yep. No, I was just gonna say now Venom moved up to 4th place, and he's showing some serious pace. If you notice, the last 4 laps that he did since his pit have all been 54s, and
he's on those super soft tires.
Right, and Francisco on the medium. So this is gonna be an interesting battle to watch here. Let's go on to Venom and watch this battle, because surely Venom should have the advantage, at least tire-wise. I mean,
yeah, I mean, look how fast he got through that corner. Like, he just came out with all kinds of speed because he had the grip. And there he goes. Well.
No, Francisco on the overtake. He's stubborn. Keeping him on the outside line.
Oh, that is close! And the move has been made.
Yields. Yeah, Francisco yields there. He was not alongside him. That is not a good place to be passed anyway. That was definitely smart between the both of them.
Yep.
It was literally a game of chicken at that point.
So now Venom now up to 3rd.
Podium positions. Yep. And up ahead we have Crimson has now finally caught Night Kid. Night Kid also on the medium tires, and he's been on the medium tires, I believe, since the start of the race. I don't see.
It looks like it.
He's on lap 16. Yeah, he's on lap 16. So it looks like he's been on mediums all race. Crimson, who's gotten rid of the mediums, is now putting some serious pace. He's got the fastest lap of the race, I believe, at 53.7. And since that 53, he's been constantly in the 54s, dipping into the 55s only when he had lap traffic ahead of him.
Now, I'm thinking that Night Kid had to have pit because the fuel. What's the fuel window? Well, maybe it's not. What's the fuel window?
The fuel window is like 25 laps.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay,
or more.
I was thinking of a different track.
He could have pitted, but he's on the medium tire, so I don't think he would have.
Yeah, I think he was trying to see if he can run a longer stint, and it's working for him. I mean, he's up front. He's gonna have to pit eventually.
Right, but at the moment, I mean, he's still running 55s, 56s. So the medium tires, there wasn't.
This might be the move. Nope, he backs off.
No, a little bump draft. The medium tires, they were only about half a second to a second off of the pace of the super soft. The soft tires had very little difference between the soft and the super soft.
Right.
Though the super soft had a little bit more pace, you could keep that similar pace with the softs much longer. So a lot of guys opted to not even touch the super softs, just like at Interlagos, if anybody remembers. At Interlagos, there were people that used the mediums and softs only. They did not even touch the super softs.
Yep.
Oh, both going into the wall here. Looked like the Crimson got sucked into the wall in Night Kid's draft. So Night Kid is
Crimson's going to the pits.
Oh, that is unfortunate because Night Kid now on the medium tires. Is he going to be able to hold that position? Crimson has gone for the undercut. Let's see what happens. So Francisco is now in second place. There must have been something must have happened to Venom because Remember, Venom's on the super soft tires, and he was ahead of Francisco.
Now, I'm going to guess that Night Kid may go for the pit this time around, but he might be trying to do a full stint on those medium tires. Oh, no, he goes around. Oh, Night Kid's in the wall. Get that car going, son. That's my
And
teammate
because
right
of
there. I
that,
hate to see
Francisco,
that.
Venom have moved up positions. Now, Venom is actually just catching his teammate,
Yep.
Trology.
And J-Rod and Crimson just got around him as well. Ugh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Surely he's going to
And in
pits
the
now.
pits,
That must
there he
have been a
goes.
sign. There you go. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can do long pits or long stints, but it's tough. Joey, let's go to 7th place. Joey just made a move on Black Widow. Black Widow is very close there, so Joey is now holding 7th position. Black Widow, in 6th position. Black Widow in 7th. And just ahead of him is Jack in the blue Red Bull car. This is a great little battle going on here. We have about 3 battles between 1st and 7th. We got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it looks like. Or 1st and 2nd, I should say. 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th, 5th, and 7th. Or 5th, 6th, and 7th, I should say. Sorry. Well, I don't know my numbers, apparently.
That's all right. You guys use different numbers in Canada, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so in Jack goes.
And now Black Widow's about to make a move here on Joey. Joey goes defensive line. Black Widow's going to go along the outside. Joey
outside. And she makes it stick.
Beautifully done. Been going on the outside, carrying a little bit more speed. And now she's up into 5th place. I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the highest Black Widow has been circulating on track mid-race. So this is impressive. I want to see how she finishes because she's doing really, really well. She's driving really clean. She's getting close to cars, but nothing, you know.
Oh, no. Oh, that was close. And Joey will take
I really
the
need
spot.
to stop talking now.
Wow. I almost don't want to watch the car anymore. I'm afraid that we're causing a commentator's curse even though the race has already been done.
Right. I mean, I'm watching this race for the first time now since the race. So I wish I knew that because then I would have kind of said that, moved forward, and then kept up with the conversation. So now we have Crimson in 4th place. He's just behind J-Rod in 3rd, and he's putting actually the best first sector. So let's see what he can do here. Trology getting off the racing line, letting the 2 battling cars go by. Doing nicely done. J-Rod looks like he has some good speed here. I mean, he's got the worn tires and he's got less fuel. So at this point in the race, Crimson might be paying attention to what everybody is doing pit strategy-wise. But there's been so many changes, I think it's almost hard.
Now, J-Rod looks like he's going to need to get some fuel here in another lap. Oh, and there goes Crimson.
Yeah, possibly 2 or 3 laps because, remember, it's 54 seconds a lap here.
Yeah.
So it could be, you are right, in the next couple laps he will be coming in. And Venom looks like he got by Francisco. Francisco's still on those medium tires. He's been circulating in the 55, 6, 54s. There was 157, that must be where he made a mistake and Venom got by. But meanwhile, let's go back to the battle for 3rd place and 4th of J-Rod. Let's see if J-Rod can claw back that position before he goes into pits, or if he goes into pits at this moment.
Oh, kissing that wall. People keep kissing that wall. That's dangerous. Right. And there he goes in the pits.
And there goes, yep. And now let's go to Night Kid in 6th place, who's right on the tail of Joey. Joey moving into the pits. Never mind. Doesn't happen. We'll stay on Night Kid anyway. Although there looks to be a battle. No, it's not a battle. In fact, it is Supermex who is behind Trology. They're both on super soft tires, so it's going, they're both on soft tires. Supermex on worn super softs, and Trology on brand new softs. So we'll see what happens here, but there's not a lot of places he can get by.
Well, I'm riding on board above Supermax here just to get a good look at this challenge.
Yeah, this is tough because I mean, Trology is Igorski is not too far ahead of Trology, but Igorski is letting all of the drivers go by, and Trology is not. And Supermex has these guys actually ahead of him who
As
is really
Trology
close to
goes
them.
off the track.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. He's pulling off the side now. I'm not sure what's going on, but Supermax now gets by, and he has J-Rod just ahead, or he has Igorski right ahead of him. Remember, J-Rod wasn't too far ahead of Supermax earlier, and unfortunately now Supermax has a lot of work to do, being stuck more than a lap and a half behind a lapped car. It's really tough for getting a blue flag in this sort of situation because you see the guy you're battling, right? But at the same time, you have a battling pack coming by, and it's really tough. It's a really tough call.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to hold anybody up, but at the same time, at what point do you have to tell yourself, I'm going to keep going? So it is hard. It's a tough situation. It's also something that's not very clarified in the rules. You are supposed to allow cars go by, but at the same time, he's also battling for position. So it's a tough call on Trology's part.
Yep. Now let's see. J-Rod is on track near somebody. Is that
Situation?
Yeah, there is Situation.
Yeah, remember, Situation wasn't 12 for the longest time, so he is going to have to go into the pits. He is off pit cycle with J-Rod at the moment. But J-Rod, let's see. He stuck his nose in. He must have thought he was further than he really was. So he's going to get that position back now. Rightfully done. And, oh no, is that Joey? Oh, just falling down the order. We must have saw that. Go to 10th place. Joey unfortunately spun around and lost position to J-Rod, Supermax, and Situation. It's like I said, you make one mistake and you lose 3 or 4 positions. It's unbelievable. The gaps are misleading.
Yes,
On any other track, you see these gaps and you think you're safe. You make one mistake here and it's 9 seconds you lose. And Joey, unfortunately, because people were coming by and he couldn't get on track, he ended up losing even more.
Yep. So
Situation's
in the pit now. So
Yeah.
J-Rod is gonna keep that spot.
Run away. Yep. And Supermax has now finally caught back up to J-Rod. Now let's go to 6th place. Let's go to Night Kid. It looks like there's a battle here between Night Kid for 4th place between Night Kid, Black Widow, and Jack.
Yeah, look at that. Those cars are all right next to each other.
And it looks like Black Widow and Jack are on the same pit strategy, roughly. When I say pit strategy, I mean fuel-wise. And Night Kid, because of that super extended medium stint, he is now good for at least another 10-15 laps.
Yep. Now, I can see that Black Widow's overtake is all gone. So she's not going to have that to battle with. Let's see, what tires is she on? She's on the softs. They're pretty well worn out. Jack is on the super softs. And Night Kid's on regular softs. Okay.
I apologize. I got so excited by this this battle up ahead, I choked on air. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm done.
All right.
But yeah, no. So right. Yeah, that would be a tragedy on a live stream. Jesus.
Yes, it would. Can you imagine? So it looks like Night Kid's just kind of waiting for an opportunity. He's not really attacking Black Widow. He's just kind of, Black Widow's going to pit. So
yeah, he has an idea. Yeah, unfortunately, for his sake, he kind of wishes Black Widow stayed out another lap because he's still too far from Jack's slipstream. He has the pace, but he's just, he's outside the slipstream. So now he's going to have to, he might have to take some risks that he shouldn't in this midsection here. Remember, you try to improve 1/10, and oh, that's close. He's flirting with track edges. And it looks like, no, everything is pretty spaced out at the moment. That is the closest battle for position currently on track is Night Kid and Jack. Sorry, I was about to say Kittuation, but that is in fact his father. So
If I see two cars crossing the start-finish line right now. I'm not sure who they are.
it's the two Mercedes teammates. It is Trilogy ahead of Venom.
Oh,
So
okay.
at the moment, Trilogy is holding up Venom, and Venom is trying to chase Francisco, who is only one corner ahead. So looks like Trilogy. Something happened to Trilogy. Oh, he crashed, unfortunately. I thought he let his teammate by, but no, he didn't. Oh no! Oh no! And he takes out Night Kid. He was just swerving back and forth, back and forth. It looked like he was trying to clean off his tires, and in the process, he took out Night Kid. And now Night Kid is just full of damage as a result of that. Oh, that's just unfortunate. And he was actually right on the coattails of Jack. So, oh, that's unfortunate. You know.
That damage should clear off by the start-finish line, and there it goes.
Well,
okay.
Remember, 30-second damage. Yeah, that's like half a lap.
I was going to say that's longer than half a lap.
Yeah, it's actually just over half a lap. So
now Jack just went into the pits, so Night Kid is going to come out still behind him. Yes.
And meanwhile, during all this commotion, look who's up in first place.
Oh, I know that guy. That's one of our co-commentators, Mr. Crimson.
Yep. Oh, today is Scratchy Basket's birthday, so we just want to wish Scratchy Basket, Cole Thompson, a happy birthday.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Cole is Crimson's brother, so he couldn't be here tonight. That's understandable. I mean,
sure.
we'll have to dock his paycheck, of course, at the end of the week, but that's all right.
He's gonna have to get one less set of tires in the next race on Friday night.
Like that. We'll figure out the punishment, but no, all jokes aside. No, hopefully he's having a great time. Now Francisco is not too far off from Crimson.
Oh, in the wall though.
Beautiful, just caught that beautifully. You know, that timing. I just should have waited half a second longer.
Well, now there's those medium tires. So my guess is I don't know if it's gone the full 5 laps on it or not. Looks like it has.
5.
So
he's almost on the 20th lap with the medium tires. Yeah, he went into the pits, I believe lap 18 or something like that, and he's now lap 32.
All right, so now Venom moves up to P2. Look at that.
That's a strong race Venom is having at the moment.
He's really come along these last. He's been on this. Like him and J-Rod are both on really, like, great momentum runs right now. Like they're just like they've been having some really good races, and that has built up their confidence.
These guys are fast racers, and the truth is, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to RWB Kittuation, who has provided tunes for these guys, and now these guys are, you know, fighting in and around the podium positions. For Venom was just struggling the first half of the season to the point where he just wasn't having fun anymore. Kittuation and Crimson gave him a couple tunes. They invite him into this party chat, and as of late, since then, he's really, look at that, moving into first place as Crimson goes into the pits. He's really been doing well, and it's good to see, because let's not forget, you know, he spent 2 seasons prior to this one. He was constantly
sitting in your shadow.
No, that's not what I was going to go with. I was actually going to say he was putting up valuable points, and he was half of the reason why Ferrari and Mercedes were able to get the championship, Constructors' Championship. So we know he's fast. We definitely know he's fast. He's definitely for a #1 driver material. Now that he has a tune, watch out for the rest of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you haven't raced against Venom since he's gotten a tune, Chris.
I haven't raced for 4 races. It's really frustrating.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to this coming weekend racing at Suzuka. That's one of my favorite tracks in these cars, and it'll be fun to race with these guys that have kind of worked those bugs out.
Right. Let's go
So
to fifth place while we talk about that. Yeah, because it looks like Jack is now starting to catch Francisco, who just went in for tires. So Jack is now. Let's go on to on board on the hood view.
Hood view. Okay.
And we'll just watch it. Just watch his line choices here. This is also another one of the quick riders. Oh, it looks like he's having a little bit of lag. He's kind of going side to side on the track, but nonetheless, he's still mighty quick.
He's running those super softs still. Interesting.
Right. On lap 31, he went into the pit. That was his in lap 31. His out lap was that 32, the 53.8. But since then, he's been running really quick times, running 53s, 54s, 53, 54. And Jack actually, funny enough, until qualifying, Jack was one of the guys that was running. He was running 56s, 57s, and now he's put in the fastest first sector. And he just got
lap traffic and.
Oh, that was close. Almost took out Francisco in the process. I didn't realize how close that was during the race. Just caught him at the wrong. He just caught Igorski at the wrong spot on the track, unfortunately, and Francisco gets a little bit of a lead. But now he has a slipstream, so we'll see. We'll see what he can do. He's going to get right by. Igorski's not going to fight him for that position. It's not his fight to have. So he's just going to let him slot in front of him, and he's going to just ease off to make sure that he doesn't get in his way. Jack is only 1.7 seconds away from Francisco. The slipstream on this track almost feels like from a 1.2 seconds back you pick up a slipstream. So it's just such a high speed track. Going super late. He's trying to make up a lot of time on the brakes at this moment.
See, he's on the super softs where Francisco's on the softs, so he does have a little bit more grip. But man, he's really closed up on you here in this.
Yeah, he did a lot of closing up under the braking. So he basically broke super late, super quick. Night Kid going into the pits, and now Francisco and Jack move up into third and fourth respectively. And yeah, he's closing up on him, getting almost near 200 miles an hour, or sorry, 195 miles an hour. That is mighty quick into that onto that straight. Now it looks like Crimson is now catching up to his teammate, the Situation. So let's go up to second place here and see what happens. Francisco's not too far behind, Francisco and Jack, I should say, because they are a pair on track at the moment. And they are really close to each other.
Christian should make use of the slipstream here off of Situation, off his teammate. That'll help him.
Right. And also, it looks like there's a battle here for 6th place, 7th, Joey Cannoli, 6th, Black Widow. And they are running really similar times. Look at Joey's lap times. 53.8, 53.8, 53.8, 53.8. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
that is so consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just unbelievable. He's driving this car at the limit. Holds it, beautifully done. And then not too far behind is Night Kid in 8th place. Remember, he was in, I believe, 3rd. Yeah, he was in 3rd place and dropped to 8th due to a pit stop. So he got a full tank of fuel and he got another set of softs. So he should be done for the rest of the race. He's going to do another 20-lap stint. So Night Kid looks like he is on a 3-stop strategy. Venom just went into the pits in 4th place. So Jack and Francisco are now into 2nd.
Oh, Night Kid's wrecked.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
I just missed it, so he's about to. Looks like Supermex might be able to make some work on him coming up the straight, because he's going to have. Oh, jeez.
Meanwhile, there's a battle for 5th place again. Joey just gets underneath Black Widow in 6th place. Oh, touches her, unfortunately. So he kind of lifts off, lets her by. Oh,
This
wow,
might
this
be
is
this
mighty
might be
close.
one of around the outside. That was brave or crazy or
Very
both.
brave. Yeah, and now he takes the defensive line. Just parks his car on the apex here. Doesn't allow her to get underneath.
Oh,
And the move is not. Oh, gets way too excited on the throttle. That's just unfortunate. But man, he's driving so fast. It's a shame that he makes these little mistakes here and there that really cost him positions. Because now he's getting attacked by J
J
Rod.
Rod. Yep. Well, I think Joey's going to hit the pit right about here. He's about out of fuel anyway. Got a little light damage. He'll straighten that all out here in the pits.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna buy. Yeah, there he goes into the pits. It would be silly for him to go another lap after making two mistakes in two corners, right?
Yep.
That's usually a telltale that, hey, you know what? Just count your blessing that you didn't drop to last and change out those tires.
Now I'm on board with looking at Venom here, running in third place. But before I forget, I was going to mention earlier, I think Black Widow might be having the best race that she's had in this series. She's
She's
stayed up
actually
near
showing
the
a
front.
lot of class in this race.
Yeah, she's doing really really good. Anyway, Venom sitting here in third. Let's run down the order really quick while we still have a few laps left. So up front we've got Crimson in the Williams car, in the Icon Motorsports Williams car. Looking
About 9
nice.
seconds ahead of Francisco.
Yep. So there's Francisco running in the pink Mercedes, the BWT. Third place Venom in Mercedes, the number 3 Mercedes.
Yeah, not too far behind. He's only 3 seconds, about 4 seconds back.
Yep. And on this track, that doesn't mean anything.
No,
One
it really
mistake.
doesn't.
Yep.
As we've seen many times.
Yep. Fourth place we got number 29 Red Bull of Jack. Man, boy, is this guy coming along in our series, hasn't he? He's so quick.
Oh, he has.
So consistent.
Yeah, he is really fast.
Yep, then we got Black Widow and Ferrari with this cool-looking black and green Ferrari livery this time around. What's her gap to Crimson? I'm curious. To first place.
Her to Crimson?
Yeah.
It looks about 24 seconds. I have to add that up. I don't have
she's
an
about
exact.
a half a lap back. Okay.
Right.
Not bad. She's still doing well. She's kind of out there in no man's land. There's nobody in front or behind her within at least
Right.
5 or 6 seconds.
She's just going into turn 4. Just completed turn 4, and Crimson is just about to cross the line. Just to give you an idea.
Okay.
So about half a lap.
Yep. And in P6 we got J-Rod and the other Red Bull. He seems to be having a pretty consistent race. I'm looking at his times, and they're all within about a second, so he's doing pretty good. In P7 we got Night Kid. He's had a couple of struggles. He's kissed the wall a couple of times, but this guy is not slow, so I'm sure he'll definitely make up some time there.
No, and that pit strategy of his is actually interesting because he's opting for a two-stop race, I should say, not a 3-stop, a 2-stop race, when most people are going for a three-stop.
Right. So it'll be interesting. He'll be staying out on track, and in about another any moment now, most of the leaders are going to be coming in to get some fuel and tires and whatnot. He's going to stay out, so he might climb the leaderboard here shortly. There goes Venom. In the pit he goes.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep.
So Venom's trying to do an undercut here on Francisco and Crimson. He was pretty close to Francisco, so we'll see what he can do. He's probably hoping that Francisco makes a couple mistakes towards the end of the race, or that he tries to take that fuel and tires to the end of the race, because we're at this point where we're about 14 laps to go to the race, or 15 I should say, laps to go to the race. And it looks like Crimson does not have the fuel for that, but Francisco, if he tries. But I think Francisco's learned from the last race at Interlagos that maybe gambling should be done at the casino and not on track. If you remember him trying to take a set of soft tires for well over the suggested limit, risking a blowout. And yeah, so we'll see if he does anything, if he does any gambles this time around.
Let's go ahead and take a look at in P8 now. Joey Canoli. He's running in 8th. He's got his soft tires on. He's got looks like he's got the fuel to make the rest of the race. So he might be good to go.
Yeah, he might have to fuel save a couple laps. Maybe he might have to fuel save for about 5 laps or so. But, I mean, if you just look at his lap counter, he's just ticking away 53s, low 54s. So he has the pace. We'll see if he goes in, like you said.
Yep.
And in 9th place, being
Super
tailed by Francisco at this point.
So Supermax, one of our wild card drivers,
running
really
the
showing
life livery.
Yep, he's really showing his ability to wheel these cars around. He started out a little rough, but man, is he really picking it up. So yeah, I like watching this guy race. He's going to be one of the racers in our charity race coming up this weekend. So we'll see him going from this to a Group 3 car. Several of the guys in this race, if not all of the charity race drivers, are in this race too. We can talk about them a little bit later. In P10, Kitchuation, their master tuner for RWB, it would seem. Just cruising around, and I hate saying stuff because then these people keep sliding out. Like he's flirting with those track edges. And then in 11th is Igorski. Trology's car
it looks like Trology had an issue, yeah, because we did have 12 drivers, and Trology is no longer here. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. That is really, really unfortunate.
All right, so we've got about 10 or 11 laps to go. Crimson's going to be pitting probably right now. And there he goes. So Francisco's coming out of the final turn. He should be able to make the spot, and he does. Crimson should be coming out. Is he still in there? He is still in there. So Francisco.
Fuel and tires.
Yep. Now, are there 10 laps of fuel left in that car of yours?
In Francisco's? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So Crimson's he's going to come out with everything he needs. So now what does Vasco do? Does he go in for the tires and fuel now, or does he wait? I wonder what he does. We're going to just keep an eye on this here. Where's Venom at? He's just one corner behind Crimson, and Crimson is one corner behind Vasco. So here goes Vasco. Is he going to go in the pit now? Do you get your tires? It looks like it. Yep, in you go. So Crimson's going to come around, and he shall get back into first position right about now. There we go. And then Venom. Oh, Venom pits. All right, so now we got to see.
And Francisco comes out of the pits just behind Crimson, unfortunately. So Crimson gets the undercut done, and Francisco tried to fight that undercut, and unfortunately was just not quick enough.
Yep. Venom is definitely going to be too far back, minus some mistakes on P1 and P2's part. A little too far back to make up the distance. What's the gap you see between Venom and Francisco? That's got to be close to...
it's about 9 seconds. So he would essentially have to be more than a second faster than Francisco. And Francisco on fresh tires, like you said, barring any mistakes, is extremely unlikely.
Yep, and so all three of the top drivers are all on super soft tires. So they're all driving as fast can go.
Yeah, so Crimson just put in a 53.5. Francisco just put in a 54.7. So he was about half a second slower, and Venom is now about to put in 53.7. Yeah, so Francisco is about half a tenth or half a second slower than both Crimson and Venom. But that just goes to show, to make up that gap on either Francisco or Crimson, it's going to be tough. I think at this point, first, second, and third is settled. So looks like we have a battle for fourth place. Black Widow is fifth.
I was just watching Black Widow was in the pit, and she dropped way down the order, but she came back out just in front of Jack. Like she's in a Red Bull sandwich. And Joey Canoli gets fired.
Right, it looked like Black Widow went into turn 4. She just touched the wall, and as a result, and Jack tried to go on the outside. Unfortunately, by touching the wall, she ran a little wide and hit Jack. So that's unfortunate, but that's a racing incident. That wasn't malicious or anything like that.
Oh no.
Yeah, Jack had she not touched the wall, there's no way Jack would have been able to make that move anyway. So that's just unfortunate. It just sucks because now he has lost anything but about 4 seconds. He lost to Black Widow, so that's unfortunate. It's just like I said, you make one mistake and you lose so many seconds.
Yep. Well, let's just see what happens here. So Jack is just about, looks like he's about 4 to 5 seconds back. Is that about right?
Yeah, he's about 3 seconds. But instead of looking back at Jack, we should be looking at Joey, who is right in front of Black Widow. So this is interesting. Black Widow has been driving really very quickly.
Oh, here's her move.
Oh, here it comes, and backs off. She didn't have the line, so no point putting your nose in if you're not even right beside the guy.
Oh, and
so
Joey goes in the pit. That's going to put Black Widow up in front of Joey. She's got enough to make it too.
Yeah, she's now in 5th place. This is a great position for Black Widow.
Yeah, she's having a fantastic race.
And it's good to see this because Ferrari has been, Vinny isn't here, the other Ferrari driver, and Vinny probably would be fighting for these same positions. So it's good to see when one driver is not there, the other driver picks up the points, and that's very important for the championship because this is a team's championship. It's very important to try to do your best and finish as high as possible.
And Jack will take 5th away from Black Widow. Just nose down, stare it, get on that track, and just keep on going. You never know. Jack can make a mistake, and you can get that 5th spot back. For sure.
Looks like Francisco just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 53.0.
Wow.
That was an entire 1.3 seconds faster than Crimson. So he's pulled the pin. He's going for it.
And there's no overtake left. My guess is that lap was to get all of that.
Right. And Crimson responded. He saw that 53.0. He responded with a 53.3. And Francisco still in the mid 53s, and Venom is now in the 54. So it looks like if there is a battle, it's a battle against the clock at this point as they go through lap traffic. Who's that ahead of Francisco? Looks like it is Night Kid.
It's Night Kid, yeah.
That is just weird because Night Kid does not have Night Kid has pace to be up there. So this is just the nature of this track. It's so hard to strategize.
Let's take a look at Night Kid. He's on he pit again. We thought he was going to go the whole way, but he went in and pit for super soft tires.
He did, didn't he?
He did. So that's why he was back further. He went in and pit. And the pit stop here is nearly, a third of a lap. Right there. It's like 20 seconds.
When you go for So he went into the pit. It looks like the pit stop's about 8 seconds with no fuel. When people get fuel, they're doing anywhere between a minute, 10 seconds, so almost 20 seconds slower.
Yep.
And that is, like you said, that's like a third of a lap.
Yep. All right, let's see. How's things looking on the track? Let's see. So we got Crimson up in 1st. We got Francisco in P2. We got Venom in P3. And then we got J Rod in P4. Nice to see
I
that
mean,
Red Bull up
let me
there.
just pause this really quick. If you told Venom that he was going to be fighting for podium at Blue Moon, he probably wouldn't believe you.
He just laughed at you.
He would have signed his name on the dotted line. Not to say that he wouldn't expect to be close to the podium, but if you told him Venom you're going to be on the podium, he's probably like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, you
And
know,
look at this guy. He's so strong today.
if you would have asked him that after the last race, he probably would have been more confident about it. But if you asked him at the beginning of the season, he would have told you were crazy.
Right,
A lot of drivers
exactly.
were feeling that way at the beginning of the season.
Right, right, and it's just yeah, good point, Chris, because that statement was a little unbiased, or was a little biased. You're right, because last race he did do really he did really well as well. But yeah, at the beginning of the season, after two three races into the season, if you told him he was going to be getting podium positions, he would have laughed at you and be like, yeah, sure, buddy,
Yeah, no
or
kidding.
as the Canadians say, okay, bud.
Now, if we think about it, the season is 20 races, and it wasn't until race 10, 11, and 12 that he kicked the afterburners in. Once he got the tunes sorted out and could get the feel for the car, right? Because this season was a little bit different than last season. Oh, you know what? We can talk about it after because we're on lap 59. Crimson is about to go
Yes, we
across the
are.
line for the white flag.
And Francisco is about to put in another fast lap again. Oh, he lost half a second in the mid-session. So yeah, let's go to Crimson here real quick. He's been running 54s. Francisco has been constantly running 53s. So he's gaining on him. It's just too little, too late.
Yeah, so white flag for Team Williams. Look at that.
And Francisco with the 54-0 also, about 400 or 500ths faster. That's marginal. But look at that Crimson. Put the new name, new livery, and he's already has 2 race wins with this new. Well, when I say has, let's not put let's not count the eggs before they hatch, right?
Exactly.
He's potentially gonna have 2 wins
Yeah, there you
with
go.
this Crimson.
Well, as he's coming up for our last corner, that little bit of a kink, don't hit the wall.
And Francisco can see him.
Not close enough, though. Not even close enough.
Not
so,
even close.
Crimson,
not in this section. There's no way.
P1, nice job. And Francisco in P2. Here comes Jennifer.
That was less than a second difference. That could have been.
Well, I think he did his patented little swervantine thing a little too soon.
Yeah, a little too soon. And here comes Venom in 3rd place. Great finish, a podium for Crimson, Francisco, and Venom. And now here comes
J-Rod. Look at this. It's going to be a 4-5 finish for Red Bull.
Right.
2 top 5s.
Yep, so
Joey
Jack
Canoli
is in
right
fifth,
behind him.
And then Black Widow. Wait a second. Joey with the fastest lap at 52.7. But
nice!
Black Widow did not finish. It looks like she might have got disconnected or something because she was in 6th place, remember?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because she was having a race of her life. So I don't know what happened. Well, I have an idea what happened, but it's unfortunate what happened because she really was. It's honestly I'm gutted because she was really she was doing really well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't catch what happened. Maybe she wrecked and
no, that's not what happened. We'll leave it for another day. But it's unfortunate. I was kind of rooting for her all race. I kept looking at her on the ladder board, and she was always within the top 8 because myself, Venom, and Crimson, we could only see the top 8, and we kept talking, and we could see that she was always in that top 8.
Yeah,
so
what a race for her.
I was really impressed with her performance.
Yep. Well, let's hope that she can keep that momentum going into the next race. So, all right. Well, as it stands, so down the finishing order, we've got Crimson from Williams in first, Second
extending
win
that
of is
lead.
that a second win of the season or a second win?
No, it's his second win with the name Crimson. I believe it is his third win of the season.
Yep, I think you're right.
I
Um,
could be wrong, but I believe it's three.
yep. And then yourself in P2 for BWT with Venom in third from Mercedes, J Rod in fourth with his teammate Jack in fifth for Red Bull. Then Joey Canoli, Night Kid, Supermax, Kituation, Nagorski, rounding out the top 10. And then as the drivers in P11 and 12, Black Widow and Trology, they still get points for starting the race. And whoever stays in the longest gets above. So still some good points. Great points. So how
Great,
does
great
that
points.
play out in our series championship? Well, that puts Crimson a very solid lead above Francisco in the points. When I say solid, I mean like you'd have to win a few races and maybe him not do so well to.
Well, let's just pretend. Let's just pretend this isn't likely, but let's just pretend Francisco and Crimson. Francisco finished first. He would need to win five races with. He would need to win six races with Crimson finishing second or worse for Francisco to cover that gap. It's
Yeah,
not impossible, but it's highly unlikely.
it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. But
Yeah,
we're not going to cook that Christmas goose yet. Crimson still has to
I like that.
he still has to work at this, and he still has to finish well because he's got you. And look who's in third, who's moved up now after this race. The top six points haven't changed. So from after last race, the order from 1 through 6 is still the same, but Jack and Joey Canoli move up to a spot each as Patriotic Tifosi moves down because he wasn't there to race.
Right. So
Um,
Patriotic
yep.
and Vinny Grasso, who were not here, so they remain with the same points they started this race. Trology stays in 11th, but because unfortunately he had technical difficulties, he did not pick up only 2 points. He actually picked up 12th place points, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like five or
Yeah,
six. So that's
it's more
still
points
pretty
than I
good.
got.
Yeah, right. But we're not talking about you, Chris. We're talking
I know.
about
But
Trology.
Venom moves up a spot, so he and Kituation swap spots. That third place finish will do that for you.
Right,
So
and
he,
it's good to see Venom now moving towards the top 10 because I mean there's so many people here that could be in the top 10 and mathematically impossible to have that many people in top 10,
yep,
but it's great to see Venom moving his way up.
yep. And then Igorski, uh,
Igorski, let's not forget our wild card driver,
oh yeah,
Supermex,
Supermax.
who
Thank you.
this might. I mean, this is just the rumor mill, but I believe there was a rumor that Supermex might be featuring as the next permanent driver in McLaren. So
Oh,
we'll see if that happens. The contracts haven't been signed. It's just in the talks, so we'll see what happens there. So unfortunately, what will happen though is he will stick. He will still have his wild card points, and this is all hearsay at the moment, but just for people to understand what would happen. So if Supermex were to join a factory team at this point, any points he has made up until now would stay part of the wild card points. Any points he makes once he signs the contract will then go towards McLaren, I should say. So it's going to look different. So he will then have McLaren beside his name, but his points will be smaller. Will be obviously would start at zero, and he would then be accumulating points from there on. So I know I kind of made it a little confusing, but that's what would happen. He would not keep his points and transfer them over to McLaren. He would have to start fresh, and anything he makes from here on forward would then go towards McLaren.
yep. And we'll work those out as things go along. So let's look and see how the teams stack up after this race. So BWT still on top. But Alpha and Williams have swapped spots. So with that first place finish for Crimson and that great finish by Kituation, they were able to wrangle enough points that they surpassed Alfa Romeo, who currently is now in third. The only person getting any
12
points
points
every race
back.
is Night
Yep.
Kid. So Night Kid's still holding the fort for Alfa Romeo while his teammate is off, doing
Right.
whatever.
So I believe Nike has now, if I'm not mistaken, Nike has become the number one driver at this point. Nope. Yes, Nike
I'd
is
have
the
to
number
go
one
double
driver.
check. Let me. I can go double check really
Rather,
quick.
yeah, no, I just checked. He is third in the standings, so he is the number one driver. He's been the number one driver actually for a couple races now. So there's a little team battle going in amongst Alfa Romeo, but meanwhile, during all of that, Red Bull, both their drivers picking up very solid points. They're at 228 at this point, and they're not too far from Alfa Romeo. They are in fourth place, but let's see what happens.
Yep.
And in
Now,
P5
after that great finish by Venom, and the Petronas boys have moved from seventh to sixth place over McLaren by about 6 points. So Mercedes moving up. So we'll have to see how the rest of this all works out. So, whew, that's a fun race to watch. That really was.
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Lots of great moves happening. There's a lot. It was a very technical track in sense of there wasn't a lot of places to, there weren't a lot of places to pass, but you also had very little margin. You had very little. There was very high risks involved with any minor gains you were trying to do. It was definitely a tough race.
It was.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Please remember to subscribe and like our stream on Facebook as well as on YouTube. It really means a lot. We appreciate it. And leave some comments below. Let us know what you liked about it. If you enjoyed the race, any improvements you might enjoy. That's it
Yeah.
for me, really, Chris.
All right. Well, and remember, you can check us out at www.rwbracing.com to see more about our group if you want to come race with us. Also, we will be having the next race coming up is Suzuka Friday night. So we should have everybody there. That's going to be a fun and exciting track. And we also have tomorrow, we have our first ever RWB Racing charity race, and tomorrow is the qualifier, which will be live streamed on these very same channels. And then on Saturday, we will have the 90-minute race at Kyoto, and it will be live streamed as well. So come check us out, and you'll also have an opportunity to help donate to Meals on Wheels in the Greater Spokane, Washington area. Help feeding some seniors that just can't get out there. So come by and check us all out. Once again, thanks Vasco for working with me today, man, and everybody else. You guys all have a wonderful time, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, good night.